right. It is 9 o'clock my time. I just wanted to make sure we gave enough time for everyone to get into this session. If you can't hear me, I'm hoping someone will throw in the chat that you're not going to just sit there in silence for the next 35 minutes. So let me know. Great. Right on. Thanks, Craig. And yeah, obviously, I am not at the beautiful SumoQuote HQ office with the big production there in Calgary, Alberta. I'm actually in Kelowna, probably a place you've never heard before, called Kelowna, BC, up here in Canada. Believe it or not, this is not a Zoom background. These are real plants, and I'm in a real office. So happy to be here with you today. And like I said, we've got 35 minutes. I want to make sure that we get right into this. Obviously, with a big spicy title like double your revenue next year, we've got a lot to talk about. What I will say, and hopefully if you were able to catch Ryan's keynote just before this, is just the idea here is to give you some ideas and for you to just sit back and enjoy some of the new information that I'm going to present. Some of it might be brand new to you, but the idea is to just maybe look at this as an opportunity of something that you can look at adding to your business to gain more revenue this upcoming year. So we're going to dig into a bunch of concepts and we're going to touch on each one. Each of them probably requires a digger deep to actually implement it into your business. So we'll see this as kind of like a high level, and then we'll give you tons of resources along the way and links and ways that you can get more support if you'd like to dig into any of these concepts. So let's get started. I got the chat here on this screen, so I'll just double check and make sure we're good. But yeah, let's dig in. Here we go. So a little bit about myself, just to give you some context. My name is Jaden Rutkowski. I'm the business development manager here at SumoQuote. And a little bit about my past. So I kind of got involved in the contracting world in my first year university. I got roped into one of those student painting franchise companies where you get to learn how to run your own business. It happens to be painting because it's one of the easier trades to at least just get into. And through those first 2 years when I ran a franchise for this painting company, I wrote a ton of quotes. And when I say wrote, I hand wrote these quotes with my brutal penmanship on one of those 3-pagers that you rip off the top and give it to the homeowner. And somehow I was able to book enough work to survive the year and did another year. And so I spent a lot of time doing it that way. After that, I moved into a district managing position with the painting franchise company. So I taught franchisees underneath me how to run a business, everything start to finish, hiring people, booking jobs, writing quotes, and got to see many different types of ways of writing quotes and trying to book work. And so went through both of those. And then a few years later, I got involved in a home building company and real estate development here in BC. And so through that process, we had to go and get quotes for every single part, start to finish from the ground up for building homes. And so I saw every single type of quote. I was on the receiving end and got to see same thing, handwritten quotes, emailed quotes over just text in an email or invoice like quotes. And what I never ever saw was anything like a quote that SumoQuote produces. It would have made my job a lot easier and saved me a lot of time to just really be able to clearly identify the best company and understand the information that's coming at me. After that, I got this opportunity to come to join the team here at SumoQuote to sell a fantastic quoting software. And just like Sanchez said in the opening remarks there, man, I wish I had SumoQuote when I was going through those previous quoting situations in my past. So anyway, I'm really excited to be able to work with this tool, and it's as Ryan said, it's growing very fast. We're consistently building upon it, and our production and development team are fantastic, and so it's only going to get better. And yeah, so that's a little bit about me. Let's dig into the greatest revenue opportunity for roofers since insurance sales. So if you haven't got it already, that's solar. And you may immediately think right now and want to jump out of this session because you think, I don't know anything about solar, or I'm a roofer. I'm not part of the solar industry. And that's the beauty of this. And that's why we really wanted to have this session and talk about this topic, is because there's actually really fantastic ways of gaining revenue and getting involved in the solar industry without knowing anything about solar. And of course, the idea is that you learn and you continue to grow your knowledge in solar, but to get started, you really don't need to know. And you're already in a fantastic position to be able to access some of these revenue opportunities. So let's look at the solar market a bit. If you've probably already heard this a bit, but the solar market today is growing very, very quickly. The percentage of solar price decline over the past 5 years is 36%. So it's becoming much more cost effective to be able to add solar to a home. The rate at which the solar industry has grown since the introduction of the solar investment tax credit, the ITC credit, which was first introduced in 2006, is 200 times. So between lower costs and more tax credit, more portion of the project that the government is going to be able to cover, it's making solar significantly more affordable and attainable for homeowners in the US. And then the amount of US electricity that comes from solar energy is more than 80 times the amount used a decade ago. But even so, it's still just above 4%. So there's plenty of room for the solar industry to grow. It's very much growing, and there's a ton of current utility and energy being created still through the utility companies through burning fossil fuels. So a ton of room again there for growth. Why homeowners are switching to solar. So this is important to understand, because not only is this a fantastic opportunity for you as a roofer to add a component to your business and make money, but it's actually also a really great option for your homeowners where they can save money or make money, however you want to look at it. And so it very much is a win-win. And so some of the top 5 ways that homeowners are most interested in solar and why it's starting to make so much sense is, we'll start on the left here. Number 1, reduce or eliminate their energy bills. So depending on the size of system that they put on their home, they can either reduce that energy bill because they're creating some solar and purchasing the rest how they currently are through their utility company, or completely eliminate their energy bill by having 100% offset of their usage. So being able to reduce that energy bill definitely covers a really big cost when you're looking at the solar system. Number 2, gain access to rebates and incentives. So again, like we looked at the last slide, that's the ITC credit or other state rebates and incentives. You'll hear, each state has different options. Some of them have a state rebate that's specific for residential solar systems. It might be a dollar amount or a percentage of the project. And then there's also a thing called SRECs, and that applies to some states as well. But tons of rebates and incentives, which again makes it more financially viable for homeowners to get into. Own your electricity. So if you think of right now, when you are paying an electricity bill to a utility company, you're using power throughout the month, and then at the end of the month they say, oh, we can't, I can throw captions on, sorry. Let's try that. Someone couldn't hear there. Let me know if that works or if we need to change. So when you are purchasing your electricity through the utility company, you use as much as you need that month. At the end of the month, they say, this is how much you use and this is how much we're charging you. So if you think of it as the utility company as your landlord, and you're just paying rent each month to pay for your electricity, and it is what it is every month. If you add a solar system to your home, you're paying a monthly cost to finance that solar system if you're looking to finance. But as you pay that, it's actually paying off the system. So after the loan term, say it's 20 or 25 years, you now own the system that's on your house, which is going to be an asset and will continue to create electricity for you. So you're actually owning that electricity. And then having solar as a portion of your home. Oh, there we go. They figured out how to hear it on this page. Right on. Um, is increasing your property value. So on average across the US, having solar on your home will increase your property value by about 4.1%. So there's some extra value there as well. And then last but not least, some homeowners, it's very important for them to protect the environment. So having energy created through solar is a clean, renewable energy source, whereas when you're purchasing from the utility company, it typically is created by burning fossil fuels and creating a lot of emissions. So between these 5 reasons, it's financially makes a lot of sense for many homeowners when it's a right fit, and they're able to protect the environment, increase home property value, and gain some autonomy. So those are the main reasons that people are interested in solar right now. All right, now let's talk about your advantage. So as Ryan, I think already touched on a little bit, but is that you have a massive advantage for the solar industry. It makes sense for roofers to lead the charge into solar because someone said this to me one day was, where do the solar panels go? And when you say the roof, you kind of put it together and you realize, wow, the roof comes first and the solar goes on top. And um, the best time to get solar is when you have a brand new roof. And so you have a huge advantage because you already have the leads here. You already are talking to these homeowners. You're already setting up appointments. You're already writing quotes for them. And so to be already writing a roofing quote, and now you're going to be able to see, we'll dig into it, how to add solar to that quote, is much easier than trying to acquire these leads only for solar on their own. So you get to use the same leads, same teams. You already have built teams and taught them how to sell roofing. So now adding solar, and again, I'll show you how easy it is. You can use that same group of people to sell this part of the project, and then same tools. If you're not already a SumoQuote customer, I hope you learned a lot today and you decide to go that direction. And if you are already a SumoQuote customer and your teams understand SumoQuote as a core product for roofing, you'll see that adding solar is very simple and you can continue to use the same tool. And so between these 3 reasons, the roofers have a fantastic advantage for getting into the solar industry and collecting the revenue from some of these opportunities. Okay, so we're going to touch, kind of like to look at this as 3 different steps. So there's 3 different ways where you can crawl, walk, or run into solar next year. And we'll kind of look at those. So if you look at crawl as leads, so that's actually selling solar leads to a solar sales organization. That's the absolute easiest one to just start today. And we'll look at some of those numbers and how you can do it. We've set up a program for that. But that's something you can start immediately and start making some money. Number 2 is sales, obviously selling the roof and solar project, and then sell the solar install to an EPC or a solar installer. And then 3 is install. So sell and install the solar project in-house. So we'll dig into these 3, but those are essentially the crawl, walk, and run options into solar that we've identified. Primitive Power is a new partner of ours. They're a fantastic group of people. And to give you an idea of what they do, they are a solar sales organization that sells solar projects to your homeowners. They work with a vetted network of installation partners with coverage across 38 states, and they've helped over 2,500 homeowners get solar installed. So again, they're a solar sales organization. And the reason that we've partnered with them, and we'll be able to dig into this more too, is that they are a very, very ethical company. You may have heard many things about the solar industry, but we really, really enjoy the people that are a part of Primitive Power. And we're really happy to partner with them, knowing that they are going to work together with us and our customers to ethically sell solar and make sure that it's the right fit for the right homeowner. And they're representing us and you guys very well and professionally. So looking at the lead program, let's start there. Here's the steps. So one is connect with Primitive Power. Two, you can leverage your past clients list. So that's probably the easiest way to get a win in solar right away is maybe you have 200, 300, 500 past clients. Just pulling that list, whether it's from your CRM or potentially through SumoQuote through your one jobs, and we can help you with that. But leveraging that past clients list to pass over to Primitive so that you can offer this option to your past clients who have brand new roofs and sell solar. You can submit number three, you can submit new leads. So all your current and future leads, you can submit those on a daily basis and then get paid. You don't have to do anything more than passing over a lead. They'll pay 20 cents per watt um, of a sold solar project. So if you say you send them 100 leads of your past clients and they book five of those, your average solar job is 8 kilowatts. So that breaks down to about $1,600 per sold job of average profit. And that's straight profit. You've done nothing but just pass over the lead. And again, I think it's important to understand that you're not selling your homeowners information. You're actually providing an extra service that maybe you don't already sell or install solar, but your homeowner might be very interested. We've already heard feedback from lists that have been provided that many of the homeowners have even just months after they've got their roof project installed, they've already been approached and had solar installed. So it's something that they are looking for, and it's something now that you can include in the conversation and pass them on to someone that you can trust and have a relationship with to be able to sell that solar job and make this extra profit. So there's a ton of opportunity there. Let's jump quick into this link, and I'll actually have Jill throw the Primitive Power link in the chat there. But essentially, here's how you get to it. From the main website, sumoquote.com, you just scroll all the way down to the footer, this beautiful brand new website. Tutorials and support here under resources. And then you're going to go all the way down here to the solar section. Here's a bunch of information on creating solar projects. And then here we go, solar referrals. And here's the get paid to refer solar leads to Primitive Power. You can click here to go to Primitive Power's website, learn more about them. But ideally, what you want to do here is just click to apply to be a lead partner and then fill out this quick submission information, and they'll reach out to you, line up a call, you do discovery call, you get to know each other, get to feel good about the relationship. Then you just can do a onboarding package via DocuSign, and then you can just start sending leads and start making money. So we've tried to make this as simple as possible, and yeah, it's very exciting and a very easy way to just take the very first step into getting involved with solar, offering the resource to your homeowners, and making that extra money. All right. Looks like Jill threw the link in there, so feel free to go check that out. That's leads. I will introduce you here quickly to Devin Oakes. He's the CEO over at Primitive Power. Like I said, an outstanding person and someone we're proud to be partnered with. His session right after this is understanding solar sales and overcoming technical objections. So he's the perfect person for that session. You don't want to miss it. He's going to look at what it takes to move past lead referrals, what we just talked about, and into actually selling solar. So now let's talk about selling solar. I'll touch on it, and obviously he's going to dig into some of those technical objections and understanding solar. So this would be the walk of crawl, walk, run. First thing you would want to do is subscribe to SumoQuote Solar. So just to give everyone an understanding, SumoQuote Core, like the product that you're familiar with, is the base product, and you have to use that. SumoQuote Solar is an add-on. So you have to use them both. Ideally, you want to get very familiar with SumoQuote as a core product, and then look into adding the solar product on. Then you add solar to all your roofing quotes, or some, you don't have to, but it's very easy, and we'll go through it to add solar to every single roofing quote that you send out. Close that roofing and solar deal, and then sell the install to an EPC or a solar installer. And so we would love we've been working and creating a list of vetted and referable EPCs in different states. And so we'd be more than happy to help point you in the direction of EPCs if you're looking to create that relationship, sell roof and solar, pass on the install, and not have to worry about um, much more of the technical side of the actual install and permitting and inspection and all of that. Here's some numbers on the sales side. So on the far left column here, we've got a few states to mention. And then the second one, we've got an average net price per watt. And so that includes an average amount of adders or optional upgrades, and then removes the average dealer fees in those areas. So you'll see a dollar amount there, and then the average EPC cost is what we're subtracting. So the average cost per watt that you're going to pay an install company to complete the install for you. And so now this average profit per watt, you can see on average is above a dollar, which is fantastic. When you look at your average system size, say in Texas, is 10.3 kilowatts. And that K shouldn't be there. Don't mind that. And then you can see your average profit there is over $10,000. So there's a huge opportunity here just by going from the lead referral to the sale to, and SumoQuote has made this very, very simple to be able to add this sales component to your process without having to tackle the install and the complexities of that. So let's take a quick look here at an export of a roof and solar quote. So we're gonna walk through the output here. You're gonna see what we create, and then we'll jump into the back end of SumoQuote to show you how you build a roof and solar quote. Now I'm gonna go through this quick because we only have so much time. So make sure that after this, and we'll put a link in the chat here, that you book yourself in for a solar demo to get the proper full experience and are able to have a conversation and ask questions to understand it further. But this first page is going to look very familiar. This is your title page. We've got our logo, image, all of that, our introduction page, some marketing pages built right in. Inspection, of course, we can do a roofing inspection. We can do solar inspections. We can get more complex with this. We can add as many inspection pages as we need. This is a custom PDF. Some of those 5 main reasons that we looked at for switching to solar to help the homeowner understand some of the pros. And then here we go. We've got our system overview. So you're going to see this here. This image coming in is the actual design, and this is built with EagleView True Design. We'll dig into the tool and you'll see how that works, but it is by far the most accurate and easy to use solar design tool on the market. We were very, very proud to have them as a partner and a direct integration when we built our solar product. And so it very easily just comes right into our quote. We have our whole system size, the image, our system production, consumption versus the production, our expected solar offset. So again, in this case, maybe we built the system a little bit big because this homeowner is going to add a hot tub and an electric vehicle or something. So we wanted to make sure we accounted for extra electrical usage in the future. But we know that this is going to completely eliminate their utility bill. The financial analysis breaks down electricity next to solar, so you can see immediately the cost savings and how this decision makes a ton of sense because this is their current utility bill. Would be their finance payment for the solar system. And again, they're going to own the system at the end of the day, which is why after 25 years, this becomes to a $0 payment versus our rising utility costs. 25-year savings by switching to solar. This all gets built in really easily. It may look complex now, but you're going to see how simple it is to put this together. Total system cost, rebates and incentives, net system cost, financing, or we can do cash deals, additional home value. And then here we go. This is how this product works best. And SumoQuote, just to be clear, is the only product on the market right now that you can sell a roof and solar project all in the same quote. So that's really the most important part here. So you may show up at this house for a roof quote and say, hey, here's your roof quote. It's $12,000. You can finance it over 5 years or 10 years. Here's your payment. Great option. If you want to go ahead with that, that's great. Have you considered solar? You can add this solar system. We break it out separately, separate section, estimated monthly payment. And you can see now you can actually wrap roof and solar into one financing plan over 25 years, and you're actually paying 242, whereas you were actually paying more for just the roof on its own. So it's making it very, very attainable by packaging it together. And then finally, you could do a premium roof and solar with an upgraded roof. And again, a very attainable payment for that homeowner. And remember, they're removing their utility costs with this. So the finances make a ton of sense here. Authorization page, we've got our typical good, better, best, and then we can add optional upgrades. Maybe it's a main panel upgrade or tree removal or anything like that. I see a question about info on GoodLeap. We can reach out to you there, Justin, and make sure that you get as much information as we can give you there to get in contact with GoodLeap and start a relationship there. And then custom pages, maybe it's a solar install process just to give a homeowner an idea of timelines and what that looks like, financing pages, terms and conditions, all that. So that's your sample quote. Now let's quickly jump in to the back end. Oh, look at that. Sumo Summit is live now. Into our SumoQuote account. So if you're a customer already, this should look very familiar. If you're not, welcome. This is a projects page. This is where I can see all my projects. If I go configuration, billing, and add-ons, this is now where I can see if I'm enrolled or not in solar. Now let's go ahead and create a new project. I'm going to link to company cam, grab our friend Ron Swanson. And now when I go to project settings, I can go, this project includes solar, and toggle this on. Yes, I'm sure. And now I get 2 extra tabs here of information. I'm going to start with property measurements, and this is where you'll see EagleView built right in. I'm going to go ahead and search the address. And I've already completed a True Design for Sales report, so I'm going to go ahead and download that right in here. And then the True Design report comes in immediately and applies, and it also comes with bid perfect measurements. So I got total roof area and suggested waste percentage. So that's a nice piece right there, is I get the solar design and some of the roof measurements. Energy data. Now I've got an escalation rate. It's a default at 3%, but of course I can adjust that. I select my utility company here that my homeowner is using, and then the tariff, let's go residential. And then the best way to do this is to be able to collect the homeowner's actual usage for the past 12 months. This is going to be the most accurate option. I can start to enter these numbers. Maybe they're very consistent here, but they've only lived in a house for 6 months. That's okay. It's still going to give me an estimated annual consumption based on the numbers that I enter in. Or of course, I can go average bill, and I can go $200 a month, and it'll give me an estimated annual consumption there. So a couple ways to do it. Let's go ahead with this one, and let's try to build a over 100% offset. So let's build at least a 12,000 kilowatt hour system. Let's go to solar setup, and the ITC credit 30% is built in. I can remove it, of course, if it's not applicable, or I can add any other rebates here. Maybe the state of Texas has a $1,500 solar rebate, so we can throw as many of those as are applicable. Now let's go back, and I can go to my solar design tab, which is new, and I can see immediately this True Design comes in, and it comes in completely maxed out. So every panel that can fit on that roof they have got a very large offset. So let's go and modify this. Here we are. So EagleView actually opens up right inside of SumoQuote. You don't have to leave, you don't have to go anywhere, and it's super user-friendly, very easy to use. And all I do is I expand this tab on the right. I've got my total production right now. It's completely maxed out at 57,000 kilowatt hours. So let's go ahead and let's go 12.5 to be safe. And I just hit enter, and immediately you'll see it removes all the excess panels, and it only includes the ones in the most efficient locations that are going to help me achieve as close to that 12.5 as I wanted. So in this case, I've got 27 modules. I'm going to go ahead and save this. And there's plenty of other things that I can do here. I can actually delete all these. I can do tiles. I can do, in this case, we're doing solar panels. There's lots of options there. There's this awesome 3D function which I can turn on and see some of the obstructions in the area. So in this case, we've got some big trees along the road here. I can see that that's casting the shade. And they've actually got a way where I can make a selection of some trees and remove them, and the data will update in real time. So I can see just how effective it might be if I need to remove a tree or suggest that to the customer. So that's the beauty. If you want a true design demo and walkthrough, we'll be happy to connect you with somebody from their team to be able to give you a true demo. Okay, so once we're happy with that, I can close this, and here we are. Here's my new information, my new image, 104% offset, perfect. I'm happy with that. Let's go and build the report. So I can create that from a layout. I've got a solar layout, roof and solar, and this is going to look very familiar. I can throw the image on the title page. I can come through, I can do an inspection, but then I've got this WIGO Solar, which is that custom PDF for the homeowner. And then here's the new pages, system overview. That image from Eagle View's True Design comes right in. My system information, consumption, production, all of that. My financial analysis. This is where I go price per watt. So this is where I'm going to charge per watt. I just put $4 or whatever my value might be. And you'll see it's updating my financial analysis and updates all my numbers here to be able to compare my 25-year savings, my rebates and incentives, net system costs. In this case, I'm financing. Like I said, we can do a cash deal. Let's finance it. We can select a financing plan. My quote details, I can do that roof quote, roof and solar quote, premium roof and solar. I can set this up any way I'd like, of course. The roof quote is going to be my typical roof quote. Roof and solar, now I've got the solar component and then the roof component. So they're split out. I can select a financing plan. In this case, it's going to give me options for solar financing plans, and then premium roof and solar, same deal. Authorization, of course, I can add adders or optional upgrades, and then my extra pages there. So we saw the output already. That's what this looks like. We can pop in here. Let me just maybe view the system overview page, and you can see this coming in, that image coming in, the financial analysis again. Is going to break out into 2 pages and do this whole comparison of the system that we just built. So it's very, very easy. And on the customer end, when they're seeing this, it makes you look extremely professional and helps lay out the advantages of switching to solar. All right, let's quickly pop back into here. And I see we're getting tight for time, so I'll speed through the rest here. So again, these average profits for selling solar, to be able to just add, now we went through quite a bit there, but once you get the hang of it, adding a few extra clicks to your roof proposal can help you access some massive extra profit for your business. So that's really the takeaway here. And then installs. So we were crawl, walk, run into solar. Running would be doing the install as well. So again, subscribe to SumoQuote Solar, add solar to all your roofing quotes, close the roofing and solar deals, and then install the roof and solar systems in-house. And obviously, because it's in-house, you have different ways of running your business and the amount of profit you're able to capture, but it would be well over that $10,000 average profit per job mark. I won't dig too deep into that because Randy Brothers has a session this afternoon that he's going to dig into that. Now, Randy is the head coach at the Roofing Academy. If you haven't heard of the Roofing Academy before, you definitely want to go check them out. They are a premier roofing business school and contractor coaching business. We've been partners with them for quite some time. They're fantastic partners, and we've seen many of our customers go through their programs and come out extremely successful. They give you everything you need to start, build, and grow a successful roofing company. So just as Ryan said in that keynote, if you want to get involved in a program or hire someone to be a consultant for your business, this is definitely a direction you want to go. So we'll throw that link, looks like Jill already did, to go check out the Roofing Academy, get connected with Randy and the team, and make sure that your roofing business is successful this upcoming year. He's also the founder and CSO of Elite Roofing and Solar out of Denver, Colorado. And he's going to be doing that session on how he added solar to his roofing business. So you don't want to miss that. That's this afternoon. Last but not least, we over at SumoQuote have written the Roofer's Guide to Solar. So this is a 55-page guide that breaks down in many different sections everything you need to know to get involved in solar and start selling solar. and the reason we put this together is while we were building our product, we had to learn a bunch of these different things, and we wish that it was all in one place so that we could learn quickly. So that's what we did for you guys. You can click, and Jill will throw that link in the chat, but you can go ahead and click that link to go and download a free copy of this guide and check it out. And just as a reminder, the session after this one is going to be Devin Oakes, who's digging into a lot of this type of content as well. So I think we're right on time. It's 9:35. I'll stick around if there's any questions, but make sure that you get into your next session and find out where you need to go. And thank you very much for joining me today. I hope that you're inspired to go check out your options and getting into the solar industry. And I will mention Jeff Green from Eagle View is also doing a full-on True Design walkthrough in his session this afternoon as well. So you don't want to miss that. He's going to be able to show you all the tricks of True Design that I wasn't able to show you. So I'm going to join that session as well to see how much I can learn. Right on. Thank you very much. I think we'll let you go here. And we'll see. I think I did see a few comments there. We will see if we can find and get some resources for solar in Canada, and some different options there. So we've got the chat here, and we'll write it down and make sure that we reach out. Right on. Thank you very much. Okay, enjoy the rest of the